Previously in part 1. Link to part 2 in description.
Ryan! In fact, I need to change my diaper. After making sure the board was thoroughly concealed, look at the idiot.
Yay!
Then after re-establishing dominance, where's the money, Patrick? Where's the money? Warpy and stupid. Oh, good grief. Do you remember in part 1 when I drew the concept sketch and in the corner it had a buttload of crystals? Well, the time has come for us to make the buttload of crystals. But how am I going to make them? I have no idea. First I thought maybe we could take some actual real crystals and make molds out of them, or maybe I could just buy some crystal molds already pre-made. But what I think I'm gonna have to do is just make my own from scratch, because really there's no way I'm gonna be able to find crystals that look exactly the way I want. You may not know this about me, but when it comes to art, I am a hyper-perfectionist that wants things to look exactly the way I want them. And my idea for what we're gonna use to make them is by using epoxy clay. So the first thing we need to do in order to make our crystals is I need to make a bunch of square epoxy sculpt rods so we can cut our crystal blanks out of.
And the way I did that is...
I imported the drawing into MS Paint, selected just the corner, then enlarged it so it's the exact size as the real thing. That way, when I print it off and tape it together, I can use it as a reference to take measurements from, which will give me the exact dimensions I need in order to make the jigs that will make the crystal blanks. And the jigs I made are super simple. It's just a board with a couple of sticks screwed to either side. What's really nice about them is after mixing up some epoxy clay, smearing it into each channel, letting it harden, then giving each piece a good sandly sand, I now have perfectly straight and smooth square rods that are the exact sizes I need in order to cut the crystal from. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna take our little epoxy sculpt cube rod things. Dude, this stuff is so cool. Look at that. Wow, that slaps. I mean, it is like really hard. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like plastic or wood. It's like, I don't know, cured epoxy sculpt. So what we need to do in order to start with the crystals is Stop everything. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, wow, that was easy. So my next plan is to coat all of the crystals in a glossy finish, which will also in turn make the inside of the molds glossy, which will then make the raisin crystals glossy. But we can't start making the molds until the next day. And it's the next day. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt, but that's because it's an awesome shirt. Also, I'm lazy and disgusting. All right, I've been giving this a lot of thought on how we're going to make the molds for the crystals. I'm gonna be using a combination of techniques, but I'm going to be making the molds out of some leftover brush-on silicone from one of my other videos where I made the wings. Also, this stuff, I've been procrastinating quite a bit because I didn't know where to start. So you know what? I think we just need to get started. So let's do that. And now it's night because I procrastinated. And now it's the next day. Alright, so let's make these molds. Okay, I decided to try 3 different techniques to make the molds. 2 that are brush on, and 1 I'm calling the dunk method. First brush on technique starts off by gluing crystals onto a piece of plexiglass with super glue. Plexiglass is super smooth and will later make removing the crystals a lot easier. Once glued down, we'll mix up a small batch of the brush on silicone. Why do they have to make this stuff look so delicious? Sometimes I just want to eat it, but of course I would never. Okay, Bobby, we get it. Please stop. It's no longer funny. Stop it. Once thoroughly mixed, we'll brush on a thin layer, being sure to get it into all of the crooks and nannies. After waiting for it to partially harden but still be tacky, brush on another few layers until the moldy walls are about half an inch thick. The second brush on method is exactly the same as the first, the only difference is I mounted the crystals on little pedestals, not only so they can feel superior, but so I can coat their entire surface, thus creating sort of a squishy pink cocoon. For the stupid dunk method, I started by drilling holes in the bottoms, so later I can attach a screw which will give me something to grab onto when demolding. Then after gluing them to the lids of small plastic cups and mixing up a batch of the other silicone, I partially filled each cup, then dunked them in so they were reminded that the pedestal crystals were better. Now we have all of our crystals encased within the cone that is silly, but we won't be able to demold them until the next day. It is the next day, and you can see that all of our molds are dry. Now, obviously, the next step is to remove all of the clay sculpted crystals from their moldy prisons.
Light up the runway with something from my personal collection.
Yeah, okay, all of the pink molds seemed to have turned out just fine. Squishy. But the ones that I made using the little cups, I don't know why, but the inside did not cure and it's still gooey. Anyways, what that means is I'm going to have to redo all of the molds that I used making the dunk method. Oh, yay. Man, that really sucks for past me having to remake all those molds. But you know what isn't moldy? My amazing new merch that's available right now at wewdshop.com. This is an original artwork designed by 1000, so by purchasing something you would directly be supporting both me and Peter. But what happens after purchasing is where today's sponsor, ShipStation, comes in. ShipStation is the leading web-based order management and shipping service. They combine order processing, inventory management, shipping label creation, and customer communication. And right now you can get a 60-day free trial of no-hassle, stress-free shipping by going to shipstation.com/Bobby Duke. A couple of the best things about ShipStation is they funnel all of your online sales from Amazon to Etsy to eBay into one simple interface. You're also going to get the best rates because they work with every carrier. In fact, your small business can access the same discounted rates usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies with no contracts or commitments. No wonder 98% of companies who use ShipStation for a year keep using them for as long as they're in business. They're that good. In fact, the company I use for merch uses ShipStation. Ship more in less time. Just go to shipstation.com/Bobby Duke to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months for free of no hassle, stress-free shipping by clicking the link in the description or going to shipstation.com/Bobby Duke. ShipStation makes ship happen. Oh, hi. Oh, wait, is the mic on? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me do that again.
Okay.
Dang it. Oh, sorry. I was just doing something. Is that stupid? I think I'm doing it right. Okay, so now after much procrastinating, it is time to finally pour the resin to make the crystals. Why did that make me out of breath? I was twerking too hard. Twerking harder, hardly twerking, am I right? Okay, as you can see, I have all the molds on these little clay, basically holders that I've made. That way they stand vertical and they're flat across this way so the resin doesn't spill out. Also, I've cut up a buttload of little pieces of the dichroic plastic because those are gonna be going inside the crystals. And also, I'm going to be using Total Boat Thick Set. It has a longer open time than some other resins and hopefully that will make it to where it won't have a lot of bubbles.
I have a question.
What?
Is it as thick as that twerk was?
So let's go ahead and pour some raisin.
Yay!
Come on, buddy, work for me. Trying to not get any bubbles. Oh, look, bubbles. I don't remember which cap went on what.
Good job, Bobby.
All right, now I'm gonna mix it very slowly. What are you looking at? Hey. I love that part on Pick of Destiny, where the guy's like, the devil doesn't live in some pick. He lives right here, in all of us. If you have hate in your heart, let it out. Okay, I've let it set for a few minutes to try and let any bubbles raise out of the top. There's a little bit, but I think it's good enough. Now we're going to pour.
Just
What?
hunching your back.
What is it?
Move
Is
your
it
butt.
like grasshopper? Mosquito? Okay, now those are all poured, and the next thing to do is wait.
I hate waiting.
Now that these guys have all cured, it is time to poop them out of the mold. Oh yeah. Whoops. Okay, after sculpting, molding, pouring, cleansing, and charging, the crystals are now finally ready to put onto the frame. But before I glue them, I'm gonna need to grind down the backside to the right angle and to where it will fit perfectly onto the frame, the same way I have the drawing, but do it for all of them. So... After hundreds of hours of work from artists all over the world, it's finally finished. Finally finished this thing. Holy crap, I had no idea a frame would have taken so long to finish. And I want to remind you guys about all the other artists that made this whole project possible. I'm going to put a link down in the description to a playlist where you can watch all of the videos to show how this was made. Also, huge thank you to 1000 for starting this thing in the first place. Also, it would mean so much to me if you go to wewdshop.com and pick up some of my new merch. I mean, dude, this design is so cool, and we're both getting a percentage of whatever it makes, so it truly will help both of our channels. Look at it. Thank you all so much for watching to the end and watching this whole journey. It's been amazing. I love you. And on that note, I must bid you adieu until we meet again. Okay, bye.